Hi, hello, my name is Dale. I am the Witch of YYC, and my practice here in Calgary has been centered around transformational change. What I'm about to start talking about now to the collective is really this concept of the spiritual war that's going on. So this is something that you may be feeling either consciously or unconsciously aware of, that there are different forces working in the world, both light and dark. And you may be finding yourself in the middle of these forces. And so what I'm hoping to do is to bring some awareness to this, and through this deck, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, find themes that the collective needs to hear about. Okay, so 3 cards already popped out. So we have fortune, influence, and romance. Okay, so overall the energy of these 3 cards for me is giving a lot of hope. Yeah, that's the word that's coming through. When we look at fortune, this is Sun in Leo. The Sun is in its domicile in Leo. This is where it wants to be. And I have my Sun in Leo, so I kind of love that this card is the first one to come out while I'm talking about this. It's also associated with the number 5, or the 5th house in the astrological wheel, which is all about our creation, creativity. Creation can also be children. The children are the future, as they say. With fortune, that can go either way, right? Like the Wheel of Fortune is either, if you think about the TV show, you get the $1 million or you go bankrupt. And I think what this is telling us is that reality is what we create. With the Sun in Leo, the Sun is the giver of life. So what are you giving your life? What gives you life? We have a lion-headed serpent here as well. The serpent represents the Kundalini, that creative, energetic force that lays dormant in our root chakra and eventually awakens and moves through the rest of the chakra and the auric body in order for us to realize our truest potential. If that awakens too soon or at a time when we're not ready, it can cause chaos, it can cause blockages, it can cause illness. And so what I think that this is also telling us is to make sure that when we are going into this spiritual battle, when we're going into these situations that require this creative force, this manifestation force, are we ready for it? And are we ready for what we might be bringing forth? The lion is the strength card in tarot, and when we look at the lion, it's really about taming the lion. It's this beast, it's this king of the jungle that has the ability to attack and is the apex predator, but doesn't necessarily need to flex its muscle, right? It's a quiet strength, and it's a strength that's found in a pride, in a pack, in a family, in a soul tribe of individuals. So when we're looking at fortune and how we can use this energy while all of this is happening around us, there are a lot of lessons there, I think, when we look to the Sun. This next card, influence, so we have Mercury in Libra, and we also see some representation of the Lovers and the Rose and the snake as well. So again, that Kundalini theme. The snake here also represents, to me, when we've got the Lovers, it's the tree of knowledge, the wisdom, the knowledge between good and evil, right and wrong, that inner morality that we tend to have in humanity. And Mercury is our analytical mind. These are our thoughts. This is our communication. So when we have the idea of what we want to create, how are we really going to express this and bring it to life? When I think of influence, your words have influence. Your thoughts are influencing your words and your actions as well. And then in turn, you're influencing those around you. So what does that look like? Are you being intentional with that influence? Are you using your sense of right and wrong? Does that come into play? Or are we just kind of, on autopilot and not really thinking about the impact that we're making? Mercury in Libra, when I think of Libra, that's that balance, right? That justice, the balance between right and wrong. That's the cosmic order. It's restoring balance to the world through justice, and also through honoring the self while honoring the other, which makes me think of the Lovers. This union between parts of yourself or yourself and the other, whether that's romantic, business, family, friendship, you name it, right? There needs to be that exchange, that give and take, that balance. I think the awareness of how we're influencing others and how they are influencing us as well. What are we taking in this exchange? So when we're thinking about the spiritual war, how are we influencing it? Okay. And then finally we have romance, and this is Venus in Taurus. So again, another planet in its domicile. So Venus rules Taurus. Taurus is comfort, it's pleasure, it's the connection to the earth, and it's also stability and reliability. So when we think of romance, how does romance fit in with that? Well, it's pleasure. What brings you pleasure? How are you expressing yourself in your relationships? And does it have that stability, or is it about pleasure seeking? When I think of romance in the terms of what's going on in the world and these battles that we're facing, it makes me think of the romance to the earth, and return to spirit, and return to these beautiful practices where we're honoring the elements, where we're honoring the cycles of nature, where we're honoring ourselves, and we're honoring the relationships that we have with ourselves, our self-worth, also with others, again, with this influence here. But this is more on a heart-centered level. This was very much in the mind, and this is very much in the heart. So are we moving with love? Are we moving in a way that serves the highest good? Or is there a selfish aspect that we're pulling in? I think that this is a great lesson, because in this battle, whatever we want to call it, humanity, we are one. And when I think about the cosmic cycles of good and evil, and it's almost like this infinity loop that humanity tends to go through, eventually there is this returning to harmony, harmonic resonance. I think that's why a lot of us are so focused on raising the vibration and holding a higher frequency, and that's very much what this romance card feels like to me. We know that love is one of those highest frequencies, and it comes with joy and gratitude and peace, and harmony will eventually unite us all, I think, through this kind of idealization of romance, because there is so much beauty in this world, and the message here is really like, that's what we need to focus on, even though there is a lot of chaos and destruction and death and pain, and that is all very, very real. I'm not saying to turn a blind eye to that and just, love and light, spiritual bypass your way through it, but make this a huge focus. Okay, yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm getting from that. If there's anything else that you're getting, I would love to know. I'm also going to pull a chakra card. Okay, beautiful. So it's forgiveness. And what are the words here? Letting go, healing, growth, and compassion. So it feels very much similar to what I was saying with the romance card, right? So this forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness for the other. This is another one of those super high vibration, heart-centered frequencies that we can tap into in order to tip the scales, so to speak, and find the sunshine, bring the good fortune into our favor. And this is a really tough one. It can be really, really tough to forgive those who have wronged us personally, have wronged people around us, who are doing harm to the earth, to humanity. This can be really, really hard, but we're clearly being called to this today. And I love that. This is something that I definitely focus on and have focused on. What's coming through right now is this whole concept of the Christ consciousness as the Redeemer, right? So we are all from the same source. To the same source we shall return. And that means we need to let go of all of these hard feelings that have hardened our heart, that have filled us with grief. It's a long process, but that's why community is so important, and we're doing this together. So if you have questions, you have thoughts, let me know. I would love to hear them. If there's specific questions or things that you would like me to focus on as part of this series, because this is something I'm really feeling called to do going forward. If you even want to know more about this spiritual war, my views on it, ask me some questions. This is brand new. I'm not sure the direction of where this is going to go or how it's going to evolve, but I am very excited, and I appreciate you sticking around and listening, and I'm wishing you the best. I hope you have a beautiful day, no matter when you are watching this, and